Hello my little crafting cuties and welcome to my channel, Fixin' to Hillbilly. Today we're making a last minute Easter centerpiece for my table. I had some leftover Easter supplies, so I decided to make a centerpiece for my dinner table for Easter. Now my name's Melinda and I'm from West Virginia. So let's get started. Now first, this is a bird cage that I got down to Hobby Lobby. Now I got a couple of these, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I got one for me and one for my daughter. They were normally $39. I got them for $5.39 a piece. So it's always good to go down to Hobby Lobby, if nothing else, just to look around. Also go over Michael's. They also have really good clearance deals. Now this wreath that I have here, I've had it for, oh my goodness, like 10 years. I think I got it at Kirkland's when I was living in Florida, long time ago. And so it's, lost an egg here or there. My granddaughter, or my great-granddaughter, she loves it. So, we hung it on her door for a few years. But it's getting, we need to do something else. So we're going to take these eggs off. And I'm actually going to put them inside this cage to do the centerpiece. The thing of it is when I pulled these out, of course it leaves a little hole. You have to be really careful because sometimes you pull out too much and sometimes it leaves a little hole. Sometimes it doesn't. Most of them did pretty good when I was pulling them out. So I started here, as you see, with a candle. And those pieces you're not going to be able to see because I was covering them with other eggs. And I moved them around to where the bottoms couldn't be seen. Now I didn't glue these in because I'm going to use them with something else. Now I was filling this up and I really wasn't getting the look I wanted. And I started thinking about it. Okay, so I'm going to have to take that candle out and light it every time, and then I rearrange everything again, and it may or may not go back in there the same way. And to me that was just too much of a headache. If it was a round piece where I could just lift it out and then just put it back down in there, that'd be one thing, but that was just going to be too much. It wasn't holding the eggs right. Eggs weren't fitting down in there right. So what I decided to do was take the candle out of the cage altogether. Because as you can see, once I started getting close to the top, it was getting to be a problem. And if you look down there towards the bottom of the cage, there's a huge hole there where it didn't go all the way down. And that just wasn't working. It was just too much. So I went ahead and just continued to pull the eggs out, try different pieces, maybe some little ones. Now that fit down in there and filled that hole. But then on the other side, which you can't see, was another hole. And like I said, once you pulled that candle out to turn it on, I would have had to dump the whole thing. You can do that if you want to. It just wasn't feasible for me. So as you can see, everything fell down in there perfectly. Everything went to the bottom. No holes, no problem. So I just continued to fill the cage up with the Easter eggs. Now the reason I didn't hot glue these in, I did turn around to where you couldn't see the bottoms, the little holes. Some of them you couldn't see the hole, but some of them you could. But the main reason that I didn't hot glue these in is because I don't know if I'm going to leave it like this next year, use these eggs in another wreath, or what I'm going to do. This is just a quick fix for a centerpiece. I had some flowers, but I wanted something that looked more Easter, so I thought, well, let me go ahead. I had a cross that I made actually a couple videos back. I have that in the dining room with the lilies in the middle of it, the brown cross with the lilies. And then I thought this would be real pretty on the table for Easter. Now I know you also can buy like white eggs. Had I bought some white eggs, I probably would have painted them a light brown and then used a darker brown to put speckles on them, and that would have been pretty in here. Any kind of eggs, or even the plastic eggs as far as that goes. you know, something for Easter, something fun for the kids. So, you know, as you see, I'm just trying to see what works in here, but I actually went around. You can see the hole on the bottom of that blue egg there. So what I did is I went around the cage after I got finished, and I went ahead and made sure none of those holes were showing. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and make a ribbon. I'm going to put a ribbon on that top loop on top of the cage. Now, what I did is I had some leftover ribbon from this wreath, leftover ribbon from that wreath, and that green piece there is actually from last year with working on Easter ribbons. So I just took a little bit of those. I just took a little bit of everything and put in this ribbon just to decorate it up. So you just put it through, take it through, twist it, put it to the not so pretty side. So when you come through, everything is showing on the right side. Now with the little pieces of ribbon, I just put them in there because I'm going to turn them every which way once I get the ribbon on top of the cage. Here's another piece of ribbon from last year. And so I just pop those down in there. Little Easter eggs and stripes with the nice colors on them. And then I think I had another piece of, yeah, this was just a little piece. As you can see, it's a little bit different than the other. The other's got a lot of green in it. This one's got a little bit more pink and blue in it, blue rather. So I just brought that through. And this does have a not so pretty side on it, I call it. And then I just run it through. And those loops that I'm making are probably about maybe 5 inches. I didn't take them out 6 because the top of that cage is rather small. Okay, so here I got me 2 zip ties, and make sure that they're connected properly because one of the zip ties is going to be hooked to the top of the cage. So just make sure it's sitting in a way that'll attach properly. The other zip tie is going to go around everything and then just hold all that together. And then we'll go ahead and pull it tight. Some people cut the edges to make it fit a little tighter. I don't do that only because I had an issue with cutting it too close and it all fell apart, and I'm not feeling it. So I don't do that anymore. And then I just cut that extra zip tie off because you don't want to start trying to connect it to the cage with the wrong piece of zip tie. It's annoying. And you know, you can make this your own. You don't have to use a bird cage. I've seen those lanterns at the Dollar Tree for I think $5. They're $5, but they're white. Some of them aren't white, but if they're not, you know, you can paint them white, still put Easter eggs in there, and do the same thing. Now here I am just dovetailing the ends, just giving it a more finished look. Okay, and now it's time to attach your ribbon to the cage. I didn't have this pulled over quite as much as I wanted the cage pulled over so you could actually see me hook it to that loop on top. But you basically just stick one side through the loop, put it through the end of the zip tie. I think you can see the loop a little bit there. I was trying to show you what it was, but it went too high. And I just put one piece through the loop and then through the zip tie and then tied it real tight, pulled it down real tight. Now after I got done tightening everything up, I went ahead and just fluffed the bow. Now one thing I didn't get on film, I went back and added some flowers to this, but I am going to put a picture of it without flowers as well because that's how it started. So here's the picture without the flowers on it, and then I just felt like it needed something else, like it was missing something. So I did go back and I added some purple flowers and some other just picks that I put in there just to kind of bring it all together. Alright, now I want to thank you so much for watching my video today. We sure do appreciate that around here. And remember, You were born to do great things. So stay strong in the Lord, never give up hope, and always take time to pray. It's so important. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.